have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow know what you truly want to become. These are words of Steve Jobs, founder of tech giant Apple. And with that, we welcome you to another edition of your favorite tech program, EazyTech. I'm your tech guide, AJ. This is the first episode for 2024, and we will be taking a retrospective look at 2023 and some expectations for 2024. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode. So what were the major events of 2023? OpenAI, one of the major events of the year was the drama that happened at OpenAI, where Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, and some management team were sacked by the board members. They didn't trust him enough to handle the affairs of the company, and so he was sacked. Just a few days after, Microsoft also employed Sam Altman and his team, but some hours later, the board rehired them to do the jobs they were meant to do. And this caused a bit of shockwave in the tech space, especially in the AI space. We know how that will influence tech space in the future. Now, we also saw the growth of AI as many AI generative tools, came up, emerged with Microsoft, Google, and even Elon Musk's X, bringing out new tools and making so many advancements in the AI space. We also saw the acceptance of more AI tools in 2023. Remote work. Now, Zoom, one of the leaders of remote work, of course, remember what happened in 2020, where Zoom was the leading tool and application a lot of people use to work from home and work remotely. They have said in 2023, they said that their workers should return to the office. And we don't know what this means for remote work, but it kind of means that most people will prefer office work. Most employers will prefer office work than remote work. We've also heard that some of the tech companies have said we prefer hybrid, where you work in the office some days and probably work remotely. So we don't know what that's going to mean for remote work going forward, but that was what happened. That was what happened last year. Also at Apple, three major things happened at Apple in 2023. One of them was the introduction of Vision Pro, Apple Vision Pro, which is their AR, VR headset, their augmented reality, virtual reality headset, which is a major competition for the Oculuses of this world, Meta's Oculus and other AR, VR headset because of the capabilities that it had. It's built to be launched into the market for consumers this year, 2024. Another thing that happened at Apple Park in 2023 was the adoption of USB-C. Of course, we know that most of the tech space, most of other companies have been using USB-C for their devices, but the Apple iPhone just recently accepted that this happened in 2023. So that was one thing that happened. Another thing that happened in 2023 and the Apple Park is the acceptance or the adoption of RCS. RCS stands for Rich Communication Service. It is a protocol that intends to replace SMS as a means of communication. Of course, we all know SMS means short message service, and it is by a means where a protocol by which people send messages, short messages, text messages, and all of that. Before now, what has been happening is that if Android users need to communicate with iPhone users, they have to go through SMS. And of course, we know SMS is limited in what it can do. It can only send short messages. It can't send high quality media, and it is not encrypted. So it means it's not secure and all of that. But just last year, Apple finally decided that in 2024, they will adopt RCS. But will it solve the green bubble, blue bubble debate? Well, maybe not eventually, but it's good that Apple is going to adopt this method, the RCS method, meaning that an iPhone and an Android can communicate without the need for third-party apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, and the rest. You could send messages, media in its best quality and everything through RCS once Apple accept to do this. That's another thing that happened in 2023. Now, in Nigeria, NIMC, that's the organization responsible for Identification Management has come out to say that 104 million Nigerians have NIN, that's the National Identification Number, as of December 2023. Nigeria also signed the Nigeria Data Protection Bill 2023 into law. The new law provides a legal framework for protecting and regulating personal information in the country. Also, in 2023, the new Minister of Communication, Bosun Tijani, disclosed plans to train about 3 million Nigerians with technical talent in the next 4 years. In December 2023, CBN removed a 2-year restriction on cryptocurrency transactions, but introduced stringent measures for financial institutions. And finally, in Rivers State became the second state in the country to adopt the Nigerian Startup Act. The Nigerian Startup Act is a piece of legislation that is designed to create an enabling environment for tech startups to thrive and be on the same page with other agencies or other relevant government agencies. So these are some of the big stories in tech for the year 2023. Now, what do we expect in the tech space in 2024? We expect to see more advancements in AI. There are some reports that ChatGPT, of course, which is an open AI tool, is going to be more advanced and more developed and probably perform more things than we expect. We expect to see a lot of AI advancements from the big players, from Google's Bird. We expect to see Microsoft with its Copilot do more things. We also expect to see Elon Musk, achieve a lot with AI, and more players to a lot of generative AI tools will become more accessible. That's what we're expecting to see. And we expect to see a lot of advancements in AI. Will AI eventually take over the world? We're not sure about that, and it really hasn't got to that stage, but let's see what else AI will throw at us in 2024. We also expect Apple Vision Pro to launch in 2024, and we expect that it will become a major competition, a major player in the augmented reality and virtual reality space, because it's going to do it. Has so many functions and functionalities, and we expect that with that, more players will need to up their game, especially Meta's Oculus and a couple of others. We expect to see the virtual reality and augmented reality space, thrive in 2024. Now, RCS, we talked about RCS, and we said that Apple has finally decided to embrace RCS, so it means that communication between Android and Apple will become more seamless while they use the native messenger apps. Now you don't need to use WhatsApp, you don't need to use third-party apps with your default messaging app for Apple iPhones especially, and for Android phones. You can communicate richly, send messages, and once you're typing a message on your messaging app, now with RCS enabled by Apple, we expect to see the typing symbol, so when the person you're chatting with is typing. And we also expect that you can send high quality images, and all this will happen in a secure space. So most likely the latest versions of iPhones that should be dropping in 2024, and maybe iOS generally will have this functionality. So this is something that we expect. Of course, we also know that at the beginning of the year, tech companies come together. The tech show known as CES, that's Consumer Electronics Show, where they show off a lot of things. We're expecting that, yes, while it's normal for these things to be more of innovations and prototypes, we're expecting to see more things. Of course, we'll look at the CES, we're expecting to see more things emerge from that show, from some of the big players in the space. Of course, we also expect to see a lot of advancement in mobile devices. Maybe we should expect some groundbreaking technology, groundbreaking things in our new phones in 2024 and laptops and all of that. But we expect to see that. And those are basically some of the things that we expect to see in 2024. So we will keep you updated with all that is happening in the tech space right here in Nigeria and on the international scene. So make sure you follow us on all platforms. We are EazyTech on all your podcasting platforms. Just search EazyTech, EazyTech on all podcasting platforms. You can listen to us every week for a fresh episode. And of course, you can also follow me on social media. I am AJ_Dikachi on all platforms. Answer your questions and keep you updated with all that is happening in the tech space. So until next time, have yourselves a wonderful day. Peace.